everyone, it's Andrea. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I would like to share with you basically the cons of being a loan signing agent. And I don't like to talk negativity, but there are just some things that if you are in the very beginning stages of deciding whether you are going to be a loan signing agent, these are some things that you just need to know about. Expect them, okay? So number one is the pay. The pay is going to be a net 30 to 60 days. And what that means is that from the day that you do the closing, you should not really be expecting a paycheck about 30 to 60 days out. Typically, most signing companies are 30, but not all signing companies are that way. Some of them take even more time. And then you have some great companies that they pay you like the very next week. So not all signing companies are equal, and we wish that they were, but that's not the case. Now, there are going to be some signing companies, and you will learn this quickly, that take longer than 60 days. Some of them you have to hound them, you have to email them, you have to call them, and after a while you will learn their names, the names of these companies, and you will try to stay away from them because we don't want to hunt down our money. We shouldn't have to. So you will learn that. However, to make life a little bit easier, if you are going to be a loan signing agent, or even if you already are, I suggest everyone to get in a group called, it's on Facebook, Deadbeat Signing Companies. That's what it's called, I think. Deadbeat Signing Companies. And join that group, and that group will help you understand which companies to stay away from. Now, I do have a little disclaimer here. Not everything is 100% accurate on that group. For example, what I experienced with one company may not be the same experience that you receive. So you just have to take some of that information with a grain of salt, but that group is definitely helpful. Okay? So when it comes to your money as well, you're going to set your fee. You're going to end up deciding how much your time is worth. For example, if you're traveling an hour to the closing, and then let's map out maybe an hour at the closing table and another hour coming home, you're going to decide how much that 3 hours is worth to you. And so you're going to create your fee, but unfortunately the notaries in your area are also going to help you create your fee. So if you have some notaries that are taking closings for $40 to $60, then that may end up impacting your fee. And I'm not knocking anyone for what they're doing. I am not. At the end of the day, you run your business the way you feel your business needs to be ran. So if you're a notary who's accepting $40 to $60, I'm not telling you to stop. That's not what I'm doing. However, it does impact other people. But the one thing I do want to point out is if, let's say you're a brand new notary and you decide to accept $40, there are some companies that will not increase your fee once you start with that $40. So though you were new and you accepted the $40, 6 months later where now you have 100, 200 closings under your belt, and you tell them and you negotiate your fee, they at times may say, well, you have accepted closings from us before at the $40 fee, so we're not going to increase your fee. So just keep that in mind when you're negotiating, when you're talking about how much money you're willing to do this. Just keep all of that in mind. And again, I am not knocking anyone for what they're doing. At the end of the day, the way I look at it is this business, being a signing agent, you're making more than minimum wage, so that's a plus. I consider myself making very good in this business, so hey, you do whatever makes you comfortable. I just want to point that out. Now, when it comes to our fees, we're doing all of this traveling, we have to consider our gas. Now, when I started doing this over 2 years ago now, I had the same vehicle I have now, and to fill up, it cost me $23 to fill up. I filled up yesterday, it now is $43 to fill up. So I have to consider all of that when I am negotiating my fee. Since we hit on gas prices, let's talk about travel. So we're doing a lot of traveling. For example, yesterday I felt like I was on one side of the world and then I drove to the other side of the world. I did a lot of traveling yesterday. So sometimes it feels like broken time. And what I mean by that is there are times where I'll have one appointment, let's say at 9 a.m., then I have another appointment at 1:30, and then I have another appointment like at 7 p.m. So in between all of these appointments, I may be coming home and sometimes it feels like it's broken, whereas it's like broken time. Whereas I'm now home, I want to kick back and lay in my PJs and want to watch Netflix, but I can't. So it just feels like it's broken time to me, if that makes sense. Now, keep in mind, I understand that I control my schedule. So this is my fault that I accepted those appointments, but that's just something that happens. That happens. The other thing is, like I said, we are always on the road, so we need to really be feeding ourselves positive information. We need to be feeding our brain. So this isn't a con by any means, just giving my soapbox. But like, you really need to be listening to something that keeps you motivated. I was in the car at least 5 hours yesterday. So I had to keep listening to things that kept me motivated, that in the end will help me become a better person. Like, I was listening to sermons, I'll listen to stuff about the stock market, I'll listen to audiobooks. Just find something that you like, and therefore when you get in the vehicle and you're doing a lot of traveling, it's just one of those days, then you're listening to something that keeps you awake, keeps you alert, and stimulates your brain. Okay, so obviously if we're doing all of this traveling, then our vehicle is going to have to be serviced more often. We're going to need tires more often. We're going to need oil change more often. I mean, the upkeep is everything in general, is just more often. So again, when you're thinking about your fees and so forth, consider all of that as well. Now, working conditions. Not everything is going to go perfectly. When stuff hit the fan last year, I had more closings outside, in the rain, in garages, in the snow, than I knew what to do with. But you just got to make it work. You just got to make it work. So the working conditions are not always going to be the same. And you just have to figure out how to maneuver around it. You got to figure out how to sign documents on top of your vehicle, on top of their vehicle, inside their vehicle, on porches, on picnic tables, on a little edge of a corner. Like, you have to figure out how to make it work and just do it. At the same time, you might have some rude customers. It happens. It happens with every single job you have. So I guess this one is no different. Sometimes the borrowers and the signers, sometimes they can be absolutely rude. You just take a breath, handle it one page at a time, and before long, you're out the door. Now, I've never had a closing where I have had to leave the table. I've had to dismiss myself because they were just absolutely ridiculous. But I've heard other notaries have that situation, and I really feel bad for them. I hope to God I never have that situation, but if I do, then I just have to dismiss myself. I just have to get up and go. So we just have to know what to do when these types of situations happen, because sometimes they will. I've had my share of rude customers, but as of yet, I haven't had to walk out the door. So, like I said, I've been outside, I've been inside. Now with everything going on, people are more likely to let you inside their home than they were last year. Well, sometimes even inside their home is not all that great. And I hate to bring this up. Really hate to bring this up, because I'm not one to judge. I really don't care what anyone's home looks like. But sometimes these homes, Whew. Sometimes, like I said, you only have a corner of the table to work with because the table is piled up. Sometimes there are dogs everywhere, chickens everywhere, pigs everywhere, cats. Sometimes I've left homes where I've had slobber on my clothes from their dog, and I'm going from one appointment to another. So it is what it is. Sometimes you have fur all over you. It is what it is. Sometimes some of these homes have bugs. I went to one home where I could visually see bed bugs. It was a hard one, and I had to take extra precaution in order to make sure I did not bring this stuff home to my family. So these are just things that you have to think about as being a loan signing agent. Like what on earth would you do if you went to someone's home and they had bugs everywhere, or they had chickens everywhere, or whatever? You only had a minimal amount of space to work with on the table. So like just stuff you have to deal with. Just stuff you have to deal with. So the other thing is the startup cost. So we got printers and toners and drums and paper and pens and notary bags and notary journals and notary gadget and clipboards and all this stuff. And of course, all of this stuff is tax deductible. It's tax deductible, but it still are things that are coming out of your pocket right now. Stuff to think about. And then there are times where you might look around and not feel comfortable. I haven't had one of those situations, but what are you going to do to protect yourself? So for example, one of the things that I do is I share my GPS so that my husband or my best friend or whomever knows where I am. I'll share my GPS for like 2 hours or something like that. And of course, if you have an iPhone, then I think they have like a Find My iPhone or something like that. But you want people to know where you are. Should you not pick up the phone? Should you come up missing? Should something happen? You want people to know where you are. Also, I like I said in one of my other videos, I've been considering pepper spray. I even had a conversation the other day about carrying a gun. I don't know how I feel exactly about that, but do what you have to do to protect yourself, okay? I've never had a situation where I was uncomfortable, but it happens. I haven't had any terrible experiences. The pay is good. I'm not complaining. Startup costs and that sort of thing, mileage on your vehicle and blah, 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 blah. Tax deductible, but these are just things for you to think about. Some of them probably pretty obvious, but I wanted to paint that, put that out there. If you're a brand new notary, these are some things that you just need to think about, all right? Well, hopefully this gave someone something to think about. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for making it this far. I really do appreciate it. Tune in next time. Bye.